In this lecture, we're going to see how our box container class as is plays with algorithms that expect bidirectional iterators. And we are going to be using the reverse algorithm as a use case. Please ignore the thing here saying replace. I should have said reverse, but that's what we're going to be doing when we hit Visual Studio Code in a minute. Now, the reverse algorithm somehow needs to move backwards in our collection. And for that, it needs a bidirectional iterator that provides a minus operator. We don't have that operator for now, but it's really not hard to set up. You just set it up like this if you want. We have a prefix version and a postfix version. It's really nothing complicated. It is exactly the same thing as the ++ versions. We just need to change the ++ for the minus here. Once we have this in, our box container is going to be ready to work with algorithms that expect bidirectional iterators, and this is really cool. Now that you know this, we're going to head over to Visual Studio Code and play with this a little more. Here we are in our working folder. The current project is custom bidirectional iterator. We're going to grab the code from the last lecture. Again, that's going to be a little bit easier. So let's do this. We're going to paste in our current project. Did we copy correctly? Let's grab everything. And we're going to Control-C on my Windows PC here. And I am going to paste in our destination folder. And let's crack this open in Visual Studio Code by dragging and dropping here. And what we want to do here is remove the code to do whatever we did before. And what we want to do now is to reverse the collection using the std ranges reverse algorithm. And you see that we have a problem now. And the problem is going to be that we don't have a minus operator that is needed by the reverse algorithm here in our iterator class, which is nested in our box container. Now, before we fix this problem, let's try and run this through one of the compilers. We're going to use GCC because it is our favorite here. And we can look through the errors that we have. Somewhere, this is going to say that we need a bidirectional iterator. Okay, so we have a bidirectional range, which is needed here. But somewhere it's also going to say that it needs a bidirectional iterator. And to make this a bidirectional iterator, we need to provide a minus operator. So what we're going to do is just go back in our box container class, and we're going to go below our equals and not equals operator. And we're going to provide our minus operators in a prefix and postfix format here. So we have a minus and a minus operator. But before we try this out, we also need to tell the compiler that this is a bidirectional iterator through our iterator category here. So what we're going to do is change this to bidirectional iterator tag. We need this. If we don't do this, the compiler is not going to recognize our iterator as a bidirectional iterator. So let's pass this through the compiler and see if this fixes the problem. And now you see that the build is going to be good. Our reverse algorithm is going to work with our box container class. And this is really cool. I think we don't need the vector here, so let's take this out. And we can build again. I think we had built before, but let's do this again just to make sure. So we can bring up a terminal window and run this. If we run, we're going to see that our collection is going to be reversed. 5 was first, it is coming last. We have reversed our collection here, and this is really cool. Another thing we can do is print our box in reversed explicitly. So let's do that just as an example, because now we have the minus operator and we can use it however we want. So we're going to just print our box in reverse. We're going to be looping around minusing and printing whatever we are at in our iterator. Let's pass this through the compiler, and the build is going to be good. We can clear and run rooster. We're going to see that our data is going to be printed in reverse. 5 was coming first, now it's coming last, and everything is working as expected here. This is really all I wanted you to see in this lecture, how to make our box container work with algorithms that expect reverse iterators, or bidirectional iterators, I should be exact. We are going to stop here in this lecture. In the next one, we're going to try and make our box container work with algorithms that expect random access iterators. And we're going to be playing with the sorting algorithm from the STL. Go ahead and finish up here and meet me in the next lecture.